Since a Sec 1 boy was allegedly killed on campus by a Sec 4 student on July 19th, about 540 of the school's staff and students have sought psychological support through a caring actions in response to an emergency or care post.
This was set up in the school to provide those who needed immediate help to walk in.
Since the care post was open in the school, about 540 staff and students have sought support there. Most heartening, within the school community, the students initiated their own small acts of kindness. Some distributed small gifts and snack packs. Others sent encouraging notes and sweet treats. Students are looking out not just for themselves, but also their teachers, and urging them to seek help where needed. The School Advisory Committee, Parent-Teacher Association, parents and alumni, as well as counselors from social service agencies and community, have also rallied around River Valley High School. This includes the counselors on standby from Boon Lay. All these speak volumes of the compassion and strength of the River Valley High School community.
Well, Mr. Chan also talked about the larger school system and how it's been affected by the ongoing pandemic. Amid schooling disrupted because of the Delta variant, he said that students taking the O, N and A levels this year will not be tested on some topics covered towards the end of their syllabus.
All other students will also have the scope of their year-end exams reduced. Mr. Chan outlined the impending support measures in schools, which include the resumption of CCAs.
First, we will strengthen the support network in our schools. All teachers will receive enhanced professional development on mental health literacy as a baseline. This will further strengthen our ability to identify and support students in need. We also aim to deploy more than 1,000 teacher counselors in the next few years. This is an increase from the over 700 teacher counselors we have currently deployed in schools. For our students, we will bring back CCAs for secondary schools and pre-universities within the next few weeks, as more students complete their vaccinations. We are currently putting our plans together on how CCA can be conducted safely within national safe management measures. We will also dedicate more time and attention to checking in on the well-being of our students regularly. Schools currently have orientation programs for new students at the start of every school year. Henceforth, teachers will devote time at the start of every school term to check in on the well-being of their students and guide them to know how, where, and when to get help.
On top of better mental health support, Mr. Chan called for a more caring and nurturing environment for the youth because their everyday challenges are intensified by the internet, where comparisons with others are constant.
Well, this adds another layer of social pressure for young people who are already facing expectations of themselves and their parents, as well as the difficulties of coping with the rigors of Singapore's education system.
As parents, we all want what is best for our children. As they learn to navigate and face tomorrow's challenges on their own, it is not easy to know when to nudge them, when to stretch them, when to help them, or when to let go. Within our own families, we can all spend a bit more time listening to our children's thoughts and feelings. Let them share with us what they find stressful. Give them the space to process their emotions. Let us walk alongside them as they grow and learn to handle their new challenges. We can have more frank conversations with our children and families on the definition of success. As a parent myself, I've come to realize that success must be defined by helping my children to realize their own potential, develop their own strengths, and ultimately be confident in themselves. Success cannot, should not, and must not be the constant need to be compared with someone else and having to live up to someone else's image.
You can watch Minister Chan's full address in Parliament on our YouTube channel.
But here with us now is psychologist Dr. Geraldine Tan. She's the director and principal psychologist of the Therapy Room. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Tan. Minister Chan spoke for just under an hour, giving a timeline of what happened at River Valley High School, but more importantly, calling for more to be done to support the youth. What were the most important points to you, Doctor?
I think, first of all, good evening, and I'm really glad to be back today. He did the most difficult job of addressing the nation to have us face up to it. Really proud of what the nation is doing, rather than hiding from it and running away from it. I also hear that the students use the run, hide, and tell lockdown. It means that something in our school system is working. Very proud of the students that have done that also. I agree with him about the support that is needed and how fast it's being rolled out. I would encourage all schools to also have their own counselors stand by and to reach out to external resources if necessary, because there would be secondary trauma, there would be vicarious trauma from the teachers, all these very essential to address. And also I'm hearing that there will be PTSD. He did not explicitly say that, but I'm glad that he acknowledged that. And we know that PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder can last for a really long time.
That's right. So, Dr. Tan, how significant was Mr. Chan's statement today in how educators and parents address the mental health of our youth moving forward?
There is movement, there is acknowledgement that we do need to pay attention to how stressed the children are in the school system. The education itself, does put a lot of pressure, but he also addressed the expectations placed on the children. So this is something that we know and we've spoken about, but to hear it so publicly by a minister, I think that's very important, that we need to know that, our children are not defined by our grades. I know, cliched as it sounds, this is something that I want to remind all parents and teachers, that our children are not defined by grades. So it's wonderful that he has, addressed it. I do want to applaud the competency of the educators, that they stood by the school in every single school, the principals who have a lot of weight on their shoulders. I think this period of time has been extremely trying for them. And I'm so glad that he addressed them and gave them a platform to talk about things.
Well, Dr. Tan, it's great to hear your thoughts on what happened today. Thank you so much for coming on the show. That was the Therapy Room's director and principal psychologist, Dr. Geraldine Tan.